Hey everyone, welcome back to another TOA live stream recording. This is another one that is a segment of a really longer live stream that I broke up into three parts. You can check the description below for the things that are adjacent to this. But this is a fun section where what we did is we refactored the home screen of the TOA application. So previously, all of the tasks on the main screen were listed as their own individual card, and I began to feel like this started to feel kind of cluttered and out of place. So what we did is we changed it so all incomplete tasks and all complete tasks are each on their own card, and then instead we use like a list item with a divider to keep them separated. So I hope you find this interesting, and let me know what you think in the comments. Another thing we can consider, Cars 2. That's on my to-do list now. I haven't watched it today, so I gotta put it on my to-do list. Another thing we could consider is we can. So imagine, if you will, these three cards, instead of being three individual cards, become yeah, movie night in the Discord. When I finally make a Discord, we can do movie night. Actually, okay, so I stopped paying for Discord Nitro because as part of trying to organize finances this year, I was like, I need to go over all these stupid prescriptions that my ADHD brain is paying for every month that I don't use. Don't ask me how many, like, tens of dollars I've been wasting every month on things that I don't use anymore. But one of them is I stopped paying for Discord Nitro, and I realized that it is actually the thing that I use the most. The fact that I have lost access to custom emotes everywhere is driving me insane. And the Nitro is like the cheap tier is like $3 a month, but I'm still like, do I really need that just so I can respond keck W to everything? Like, probably not. Um, but it's like, I didn't realize how much the Discord emotes were like part of my day to day communication now that I don't have access to them. But also, this means that I am no longer able to cast high quality Rocket League when Matt and I do VOD reviews. So it is what it is. Oh no, I know, that's the worst part. And I mentioned this to Megan, I was joking about it. And she's like, I was looking at the credit card and she's like, I was realizing how much you spend on RuneScape. She's like, why don't you ditch RuneScape for Discord? And I'm like, no, I can't do that either. I use Discord a lot, but I'm always playing RuneScape. Like, that is a membership fee that I get my money's worth out of. Although something I could just like ditch the RuneScape membership and like max out my free to play skills, and then come back to a membership when I like have more time. Okay, so what was the thing? So another thing we could consider about these is like we could, instead of each list item being its own card, we could have like one whole card that shows like the list items as their own text, and then we could replace these text buttons with um like icon buttons on the side. But it would kind of have the same problem of creating this like noise over and over again. Hmm. Or I'm just talking out loud. Or another thing is we could leave the reschedule button and we could make the done thing like swipeable. So like I swipe it when I'm done and that dismisses it. But like I'd still have to tap to reschedule. Whoops. Um Also, wait a minute. What are these buttons? Because this is the kind of button that I want on my dialogue down here. What did I do differently in those two situations? I don't remember. Um, we've probably ranted so long this pull request is past now, haven't we? The code tests are still running, but Um, hmm. Yeah, I guess my issue was mostly with like, is this the right thing to do? I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Um, but I did like that idea of combining everything onto one card, and now I kind of want to do that like on the bottom here too. Like, why do these need to be their own cards? Like, they could all be one card. We're gonna do that instead. Let's we'll do that instead. Let's where's get rid of the swipe to dismiss. Let's ignore that. We're just gonna call something UI cleanup, and let's play around with the UI a little more. So, um, oh wait, no, I didn't want to reset all that because I replaced the material 3 card. God dang it. Chat distracted me. I'm blaming all of you. Um, what are your thoughts? Like, would this make more sense if it was a singular card view for each section? And then we had like a card view and like a divider within them. What do y'all think about this? I suppose we could do the same thing that we've been doing and just try it out and see what it looks like. Let's start there. So, one thing I want to. Okay, so one thing we can do is we can. So, let's start by replacing the usage of the card and look at a place where this is used inside like a task list here. So, this is a lazy column, right? But what we can do is we can put this lazy column inside of a card composable. This modifier would then instead go on the card. Uh, but then what I would do is we would do items, but let's do items indexed. And then what we can say is, wait, does the key not exist on it like this? Wait, why is this wrong? Oh, it's like this. Okay, and then what we could say is if index is not equal to a complete tasks dot last index, we'll show a divider. So just to recap what the heck I just did there, because I feel like that was a lot. We took this lazy column, which we're using to show a list of tasks, and, or specifically, this is where we show. Oh, I see. This is weird. Okay, why did I write it this way? I don't know. Um, and we took the lazy column and instead wrapped it inside a card composable, which means we probably, when we render empty section card, we probably should just make that its own text. Empty section text. Um, and then we do items indexed through like incomplete tasks, and then we render the task list item. And oh, I see. We mostly did it so we could separate these. But if the index is not equal to the last index, then we show a divider, which means there'll be a divider between every item, but not after the last item. And so then we want to do the same thing here for where we render uh, the incomplete or the completed tasks. So then here we'll say if index is not equal to completed tasks dot last index, um, add a divider. Now, this is another small little Easter egg if you've never used it. Is sometimes when we have to write for loops, right? We do like for I equals 0, I less than or equal to list.size minus 1, right? Because lists are index 0, so you need to stop at 1 less than the size of the list that you're dealing with. And so there's actually this Kotlin extension property called last index. If we click on that, it returns size minus 1. So it makes our code a little cleaner by not needing that extra value. I have to remember to go back and clip this. That would make another great YouTube short. If someone else can like run a Twitch clip, I can go find it later. But that's another fun little fact. Okay, this deserves the rain. That is not what I wanted to happen here. Oh no. Okay. All right. Mistakes have been made. Um, so okay, so let's the rain effect is so calming. I'm glad. Um, okay. This is close. That was close to what we wanted. Uh, so let's walk this back from the beginning. I think I misunderstood how this worked. So this lazy column, I misunderstood how this worked, even though it's my own freaking code. Is I kind of understood this lazy column as being just the list of items, but it's not. It's actually this entire screen. So this empty section text can actually go back to what it was, where we put a card around this. Um, Sorry, let me just revert this code back to where it was, and then we'll come back to it. Um, so, so this task list composable is this entire screen right here. So I don't want the entire screen to be a card, which is what I just did. I want it to be right here, where I do items indexed. Um, and I'm actually adding each of the incomplete tasks. Like here, I would actually do a singular item, which is a card. Uh, and I would do something like incomplete tasks dot. Well, what I do I would do something like this. Let's do it just for incomplete tasks at first. And then we'd copy this. I'm worried that this will break because I'm worried this will break the animation stuff that I was doing. But maybe not. Um, let's run this and see what it looks like. Okay, this is closer to what I was looking for. The divider's not there. Why not? Um, oh, I may need to put this in like a column. I can actually put the whole thing inside a column. That may be what I was supposed to do. Oh wait, but the card is a column. So I don't think this will do anything differently. Let me just make sure that that's true. Yeah, that's not it. What is the divider? Maybe I need to provide a color here. Maybe the default divider color is what I wanted. On surface? I think this is what I want. It might be on surface variant. We could actually what I would probably be more safe is doing local content color dot current. That divider still feels kind of jarring, but not bad. Outline variant? Maybe I want this though. No, I feel like that's just the local content color again. All right, let's use that. Let's use local content color. I can work with that. Um, okay. So this is, whoops, and now I need to do the same thing down here. Um, so let's do that really quick. So here we'll do a card, and then we'll do completed tasks that for each indexed, and then we just take this and put it in here. But I think this breaks. While this does look a little nicer, um, I think this breaks the animation down to the bottom. Yeah, it didn't quite animate, but it wasn't bad. Wait, why did that not? Oh, do we have a race condition? Do we have another bug? If I mark two tasks as done, do they not both sick? We broke it again, chat. over and over tonight. We just can't get it together. I did not expect to use this as much as we've had to use it tonight, which is unfortunate. I wanted it to be funny. I didn't want it to be common, but here we are. Okay, nope, that's the wrong scene. Okay, um, we do need to fix this though. All right, we'll fix the. Let's make an issue for this really quick. The build failed. We'll look at that in a second. Fixed race condition on marking multiple tasks done. So if we mark a task as done and then mark another one done while the snack bar is displayed, uh, not all tasks get marked as complete. This is actually a really good bug that I'm gonna save for like another stream. Maybe we'll do this on Fridays. Um, because I think this leads into some really fun stuff with how we do state management of sending messages um, to the UI and stuff. Because maybe instead of this like task accomplished snack bar at the bottom, we can be more specific and say like task X accomplished, and we could have like multiple warnings, either multiple snack bars or we have like a queue of snack bars that need to be displayed, if that makes sense. I think this fixes the other thing. Yeah, that doesn't animate it the way it did in the other one. So, and part of that is because, hmm, can you? Does anyone know in chat if you can do nested lazy items in Compose yet, or nested? God, that's bright. Because the reason I ask is because so this animate item placement is based on like a key for the specific item, which is why previously we were setting like a key for the item to like animate its the card coming into view inside the list. But that doesn't really work in this situation because um the card is not really like a lazy list. Like the whole card is rendered by itself. Um, I could do something like I wonder what would happen if I did this. Like I wonder I could consider wrapping the list item inside like an animated visibility. Uh, let's see what that gives us. I don't know that this would do what we want necessarily, but it might look kind of cool. No, you can't really see it. Um, this needs to be in fade in plus expand vertically. Yeah. Yeah, all right, let's not worry about it right now. Um, but if we go forward with this, if we decide we like this UI, We do lose at the moment the like animations in and out that we liked. Um, which isn't the end of the world, um, but it would be nice. Okay. All right, but that doesn't answer the broader question of like uh what did we like better? So let's take some screenshots, which we haven't done yet. Um, we'll screenshot this and say, and what is the benefit of our result over Kotlin.result? Good question. Give me one sec to answer that. Um, um, I want to capture a screenshot of this like before and after really quick, and then we can talk about it. So, in practice, they aren't different. Um, one of the things that I liked about, if I recall correctly, one of the things I liked about writing it myself is that it's written as a sealed class, whereas the Kotlin result class, while it works the same way, it's technically not. Oh, Seth, thank you for the follow. I really got to fix my alert sound so that I can hear them too. Let me do that really quick. I think I know how that happened. Okay. Um, but yeah, Seth, thank you for the follow. I'm so sorry I missed that. I got to work on catching this. Um, sorry, I'm so distracted. Let me let me save the screenshot and we'll talk about that. So okay, so this is a sealed class where one of the benefits of that is I can write a when statement of like when it's success versus an error, and then I can say like, well, if it's success, I know I have the data. And if I'm not mistaken, the Kotlin result class is a little different. Um, uh, I forgot how to consume this. Um, Right, so it's this value class which has a value which is nullable. So what bothers me is like I can check if the Kotlin result is success, but then I still only have get or null. And that bothers me because like why can't I just because then I don't have if I'm saying my results if I want to define a contract that says if I have a successful result, then I have a non-null piece of data. I can't get that from the Kotlin result class. That was one of the complaints I had. Um, Now, sure, I can write some code to be like, well, if it's success, get or null would return like a non-nullable value, and I can like unwrap it myself. But I didn't. I don't like doing that because I don't like the way that that reads. Versus like the sealed class that I have here, like I get that little bit of type safety from it in a different way. And also, one of the other, this goes way back, this is not true anymore. But once upon a time, there was some limitation that the Kotlin result class could not be used inside of a flow. It could only be like a function could return a Kotlin result, but you couldn't like observe a flow of result entities. And so if I wanted to do this in like a stream of data, I wouldn't be able to do so. Um, I don't know what this fold method is. Oh, there is get or else, which I guess is. kind of what I was looking for. Okay, maybe fold is what I'm looking for. Returns the result of unsuccess for the encapsulated value if it represents a success, or blah blah blah. Huh. Maybe that is yeah, but I guess so all of those reasons where I either didn't know that I had fold as an option, which sounds like I just didn't know because it's been around since 1.3. Um, so yeah, I guess I just got used to writing this by myself. Um, I would say like if other people are watching this and they're asking that, like I'm always a fan of using what's in the standard library if you can, because the less code that you as a developer have to maintain, the better. Like, yes, this is just a sealed class with two subclasses, that it's not a lot of extra code, but in practice, like if I didn't have to include this class, then I probably wouldn't. Something we could do for fun, because I just wrapped up, or once I wrap up what I was just doing, we can try to replace it in this code base. That could be a fun thing to look at. Before we do that, I want to go back and I want to get rid of this. Okay, I did fix that. I'm going to get rid of this class, which I don't need anymore, and say, uh, so let's come back to the well. So I think I answered sort of why I went down this rabbit hole in the past, and I'm down to try replacing it. That could be fun. Before I do that, though, let's take another unofficial poll and say which one do you like better? Single card for each of the sections, or card per individual item? Anyone have any thoughts or opinions on this idea? I think my personal opinion is on the left side. Um, I don't mind list views with cards in them if the card has like a lot of stuff on it. But I feel like using a card view for just a text and some buttons feels better. Color wise, the right is better, but structurally, the left might be better. That's valid. So, the reason for the color difference was because this was a card view I had written myself, and this is using Material 3 colors, and they must have changed their color tokens, but we can definitely try going back to that. So, great question. Let's see if we can introduce a third option here. Um, let's go back to the project really quick. Material 3 card. So, this was our own thing. We're saying the background was surface. Um, so, what is the new card doing? Container color, which is surface variant. So we could do something like this, where we could say colors would be, um, and what we can do here is we can say container color will be material theme dot color scheme dot surface. That's what I was using. And let's just steal that and put that here as well. Okay. And we'll look at option number 3 in a second. Did you start TOA series from scratch, like just with the Android Studio template? Yes. Technically, I used an Android template that I made myself, which you can find by doing, we'll type it out, but exclamation point template and chat. But yes, and everything is recorded. Okay, why is this? So this makes sense a little bit. Why? What was different here? Was it the elevation? Is that what's different? Can I customize this? Let's try that. That might be what's different. Um, and yeah, if you go to my YouTube, there's a TOA playlist that has all of the recordings going like way back. Okay. Whoops. Uh, just be warned, we're talking about like hours and hours and hours of content. So let me go back. So, what I would recommend if you're interested, um, if you go to the GitHub repo, there's a stream history file which has a recording of every single stream, 1 through 30, and it's about to be 32. Um, and they have the topics I've worked on. So I wouldn't discourage you from starting from the beginning, but be prepared that we're talking like lots and lots of hours of content that don't be afraid to go to this stream history file and take a look at like some of the ideas, and they'll click in here and they'll tell you a little more about what we looked at and related pull requests, and then you can kind of find the specific videos from there. That's why this file exists, to navigate this behemoth of a project that I've been working on for um, a long time now, at least a year. Okay, so option number three has entered the ring, which is um, we can have the functionality that we see here with a darker colored card um, on the right hand side. So what would our votes be? I don't know. Personally, I'm kind of leaning all the way to the left. Swoop is also going for the darker colored cards. Okay. Um, it's definitely something we can also play around with this in the middle. Yeah, adjust the line color. Okay. I just don't know how. Right? So I also don't know. Actually, now that I mention that, one thing we should check is what does this look like in light theme? Which is this is the answer. Which honestly is a similar thing. The divider is just really jarring. Time to learn something new. Okay, that's why we're here. Um, God, this whole thing is really jarring. Although it looks pretty good, right? All right, everyone likes the third one. We just got to play around with the line color. All right, let's do it. So, back to dark theme, saving our eyesight. Um, anyone here use blue light glasses? I've been thinking about it. Just from like the fact that I spend so much time coding, and I was watching this stream where they were sponsored by Oakley, and apparently Oakley makes a set of gaming like blue light glasses that are not as cringy as like some of the traditional Oakley glasses, and I'm tempted. I want to check them out. It's almost 9 o'clock too, so I want to probably pause soon-ish. So okay, so let's do that really quick. Okay, so what we did here, here's my understanding of how Material 3 works behind the scenes, by the way. So we set colors for the card, which we're saying we want the container color to be the same as our surface color. Which is why when I ran this the first time, it didn't look like the cards existed. It's because this back here is our surface color. But when we apply elevation, what that does is in a light theme world, that typically refers to like a shadow. But shadows don't work in a dark theme UI. So what happens is like some color magic, which says it basically changes the color to provide like some sort of elevation and differentiation between what's behind it. So just to show that in action for a little bit, if I were to change this to say like 4 dips, what is this, incomplete tasks? And we were to run this, what we're going to see is this card is going to get notably, maybe not notably in the screenshot, but you can see it's now a lighter color to show like a higher elevation than say this one. So all of that said, what we can then try to consider is, well, we can try to figure out how that color magic is happening and try to apply the same thing to our divider, or we could do something like provide like some alpha value, which would be like uh maybe not that. We could provide some alpha value, uh which like I don't know, let's try taking it down. Let's just for fun, let's change it to like 0.75. Let's see what this looks like. So that's specifically on the top one. It's looking a little smoother now. So you can see it's still pretty jarring on the bottom, but on the top it's looking a little better. Um, what if we took it a little step further and said half alpha? Okay, that looks pretty good on the top, I think. Um, was a task management application? Well, some people they have important things they need to do in their lives, like clean their desk and watch Cars 2. And so we want to build an app that can help people track those most important tasks. I'm awful. I have yet to watch Cars 3 today. I'm really slacking, but that's what we're trying to do. And I'm running out of time. Cars 3 is kind of a long movie, so I better go start it soon if I want to say that it's been done today. But right now, String Daddy is we've been playing around with how the task list should look. So here is the original in the middle, and we were like, all these cards are kind of pointless for individual pieces of information. So then we made this where the incomplete items and the completed items each go on their own card. And then someone said, well, I liked the darker color, but I like the functionality of the new approach. So then we got here, where we said, okay, we're going to use that darker color, but now we're pointing out how this divider is glaring as fuck, and it's like incredibly bright. And so we've been playing around with how to tone that down. Is this considered UI? Yes. So this is what I just changed to try and tone down this divider. Here's what it used to look like. So now the question is, do we like this? Do we feel like the divider on this incomplete card looks good? And that's what we want to do. Um, and no one has answered that yet. So one thing we could do to, while chat thinks about that, is we're going to take that same idea and we're going to plunk it down here, and now we're going to run this and we're going to see what this looks like. And so this is what it would look like. Um, what about a darker divider? Maybe the card color with alpha? Um, I'm not in love with that idea only because I something doesn't feel right that if we use the same card color that we're gonna get what we want, um, or we're gonna get like a noticeable divide. Um, we could also try no divider, but I feel like that's gonna look weird. Um, Hi Sav, hope you're having a great day. Let's commit this code really quick then. So tweaking divider color with alpha. Because I do like this, and if we don't find an alternative, then I'll go with that. Also, Gabor mentioned earlier the result class, and I didn't come back to it. So in case I don't, I'm going to put an issue here to make this a stream idea. Replace self-made result class with Kotlin.result. Worth looking into whether or not this is a reasonable replacement. Um, put that down as something we can work on. If we don't get to it today, maybe Friday or next week. Um, all right. So what would happen if we use the same color as the card? So let's find out. Yeah, this is like it's there, but it's really hard to see. Um, I mean, we could do uh we could make it like um oh, well actually hold on. Because an alpha or a color change is being applied to the card in the first place, maybe I don't need the alpha. I can just set the surface color. And in this case, it's going to match the background. So it's going to be like this divider is really like what's effectively this super thin, transparent line. And that actually feels kind of cool. So I want to do that on the other one as well, real quick. And let's look at this. This might be okay. I didn't take a screenshot of the last one. I should have. Um, let's take a screenshot of this one. Dukes, thank you for the follow. Uh, I'm struggling to choose between web or mobile. What advice to take? Well, as a mobile developer, no. Um, my honest answer to you is like, think about what you want to build. Like I enjoy. So I'm projecting here, but I'll bring this back to a non-biased answer in a moment. Um, I really like building mobile apps because the first time I built something for Android and I had something in my hands that I could like take and show people and realize that like I'm building something that is like in someone's pocket that they can carry with them that can make their day-to-day lives easier, more exciting or whatever. Like that really excited me. And other people feel that same excitement when they look at a website. Maybe they're primarily desktop users, so they're on a lot of desktop websites and they get excited about that. Like, I would ask yourself, like, which platform and users are you most excited to build for? Because from a practicality standpoint, as far as like job opportunities and salary and things like that, there's a lot of opportunities in both, and you're going to find comparable, maybe not identical, but comparable salaries that I would really ask yourself, like, what do you want to build? Maybe you want to be someone who does a little bit of both. That's never been me, but people do that. I would really say just kind of start with what you want to build and go from there. And I mean, that's kind of a question only you can answer. And I know it's not a helpful answer, but it's the one. I'm glad I taught myself Java. It's a totally different way to think about and approach problems. It's super applicable to my career, but it's a neat way of thinking. Yeah, programming definitely makes learning how to program, I think, is really cool because it teaches you a lot of critical thinking that applies to other parts of life. you know. Okay, so this is if we use the surface color, which gives it this like as if it's like a transparent divider. Let's see what that looks like in light theme. In light theme, it's like not noticeable. Um, Actually, on my phone, I can see it. It may not come through in the in the screen share well, but um, so okay, so we're not doing this, and we're not doing this. So let's bring this up. So these are some of our options. Uh, let's go back really quick to um, go back to this idea really fast. This is light divider. All right, so now here's our sort of running comparison. So on the far left, now that I'm looking at it, far left is definitely out, but this is where we started. And then we've got this middle one and this right one. So what are we thinking now, chat? Do we like having the lighter divider that matches that's similar to the text color and we just needed to tone it down? Or do we like going opposite and having this like dark divider that's almost hard to see, but enough that it does provide the separation between items? Uh, what do y'all think? Kind of open for debate there. Like the dark one, okay. All right, two for the middle one. Middle gang. All right, that's three. Three strikes. We're going with it. So replace this with theme.color scheme.surface and replace this in the other list as well. Third one. You voted too late, Nico. I'm sorry. It just is it Nico or Nicole? I don't know. But or Nick? I feel like it could there's like three names that could like possibly fit there. Let me know which one. Using dark divider. And then let's also update the stream history notes with this and say, so updated the card, the task list UI for the main screen. Any of them is good. All right, I'll just pretend. I'll just use all of them. Uh, uh, okay. Follow this. Yep. All right. It is after 9, and I want to go play some Rocket League tonight. So let's get the pull request up at least, and then we'll get this going. So what did we do earlier? So we'll say adding um, using card UI on main screen. So replaces the old task list UI with a new modernized, with a new card view version using M3 cards. And then let's just drop this image in here. Dark Divider, Dark Divider. Have I tried playing Valorant? I've gone through the tutorial, um, but like I'm not a great keyboard mouse player. I'm just not. I wish I was. Before I log off, this pull request failed. So why don't we go take a look real quick and figure out why this pull request failed and see if we can fix it before we actually sign off. Um, Navigate to add task for compact window size. Aha, okay. It's this next day button is still being referenced. Whoops, well let's switch to Material 3 toolbar. Aha, these tags should not be used anymore. Or wait, no, the next day button tag should not be used. Oh, so this test is. What's the point of this test? Oh, why am I. Navigate to add task for compact window size. That all sounds good. Why the heck am I navigating to a future date? I don't think I need to do that. Removing next day button. I think this test was trying to do two things at once, where it was making sure we could navigate, but then also testing the like next day button. But because we removed that button way earlier in the stream, we don't need it as part of this test anymore. So hopefully that fixes the test. Um, I'll get these merged after the stream. But thank y'all for hanging out tonight. Tonight was a lot of fun. We had a few new followers. So shout out again to, I swear, it looks like Jose, Seth, Tukes. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate it. Um, and all the regulars, and String Daddy for coming through. What a goat. Let's see who is live that we can raid tonight. Oops, that's the wrong keyboard. String Daddy wants to solve a Rubik's Cube. God dang it. Alright, let's do that real quick. Um, Give me one moment. Now I can't leave. I can never leave. Alright, we're putting this over here. I actually haven't done one of these in a while. I've forgotten how to set up stuff. Which means I'll give people ample time to do the vote. Are we going to do 27 and a half? It's been a while. All right, we can go with it. Let's give everyone 2 minutes to vote, and I'm going to um, give everyone 2 minutes to vote, and I'll do some practice runs real quick. So let's go to oh my god, Chris with the raid. All right, now I definitely can't leave yet. Welcome in, everyone. Swoop, thank you for the follow. Oh man, this is going to get hectic in here, isn't it? Someone just redeemed a Rubik's Cube solve prediction. So We've been doing some Android dev, but y'all came in just in time to see me run a Rubik's Cube. Is the prediction still live? I think it is. Y'all have a minute and 20 seconds to predict. Can Adam solve a Rubik's Cube in over or under 27 and a half seconds? I pick that time specifically because that is like kind of a median for me. It's really hit or miss. But we'll find out. I'm going to do a practice run. So if y'all want to see the practice run and how I do before you vote, you can do that, or you can get your votes in now. Chris, I hope you had a great stream. Thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Welcome in, everyone. You timed it perfectly. You really did. All right, let's. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. All right, let's do a nice practice run here. Here's hoping for a good one. Ooh, it's over. Oh no. Oh no, I fat fingered it. All right, well, that one's scuffed. Um, but that was definitely over, and then I fat fingered it. So let's finish this up really quick, get some practice in. Definitely not losing my points. All right, let's see how much time we have left. All right, we're up, so the next one will be the real one. Um, um, the stream record, by the way, there's a clip somewhere on the Twitch channel. The stream record is 21 seconds. And I think my slowest time is when I've also fat fingered it and done like 45. So that's why I picked this number, because it really is kind of in between a whole bunch of things. So yeah, we're looking at an interesting one. But let's see. I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can for y'all. All right, let's see what we can. Oh, gotta bring it over here. I'll bring it over in a second. And all right. Ooh, all right. I told you I just had to warm up. 25.85. That is pretty good. Let's see. Let's see what y'all heathens. Oh, most of you predicted under. That's pretty good. Usually I don't have that much faith in me as y'all did tonight. So under are the winners. Sorry, Nico. You should have had some more faith. All right. Well, I totally was about to wrap up stream, but I got rated. I know the rules. We can't quit now, so let's go back to the streaming. I'm also just give me one moment though. I'm gonna turn my overhead lights back off. I do it for the Rubik's cube so I can see, but I prefer not to use them. Give me one sec. All right, so we were doing some coding tonight. So for those of you who are joined us as raiders, welcome. Something I tend to work on. I've got a couple side projects that I work on stream, much like Chris. I just kind of work on whatever I'm feeling for that day. But Cypher, I missed your follow when I was doing the cube solve. Thanks for coming in. One of my projects I tend to work on is this what I call tasks of affirmation. So we've mostly been focusing on the task management, but the goal of this app is to be a gentle, like wholesome task management application, something that's easy to use, something that is not super overwhelming. I want to get to a point where we throw in like cool words of encouragement as you complete tasks and, being kind to yourself. Like I have notes here, like if you don't have stuff to do on a day, we have this little text that says like make time for yourself. That's something we want to accomplish with this app. And we've actually done some revamping of this tonight where we changed this toolbar at the top to have this nice color as well as this calendar icon. And we changed these items sections to be like one card as opposed to individual ones. So if you're curious while we're here, if I go back to my development branch, and I just run this to show y'all what this looked like before tonight started, you can see it. So let me, what is it? Dark divider, this is called. So this screenshot right here, this is what you just saw. This is what the app looks like now. And this is what we started with. So I used to think this app looked pretty cool. Now I think it looks even better. I feel like we made huge strides toward making it a little more Material 3 themed. So yeah, that's what we looked at. Currently also working on some kind of task application, but in that app you'll be in some kind of group, and group leader will assign tasks for you to complete. That sounds like a cool idea. Sounds like a great like shared task management idea. Okay, let's see. So this PR is still running, which is fine. And this one is also still running. But why don't we go back to, we'll go back to UI cleanup. And why don't we, I'm totally going to steal and go to the community thing. Is Gabor still here? Gabor? I don't know if I'm saying the name right. I see you in the chat list, but I don't know if you're still here or not. But let me know if you're lurking, because you asked about the result class, and I think like it would be fun to do a pull request to look at replacing our result class with the Kotlin.result class. And so I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. Why don't I start on let's start from this branch because it's all part of the same stream. Fire, thank you for the follow. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this to the Raiders. If you want to follow along with this project, ! GitHub. That is the GitHub repo for this project. And if you're interested in learning more, the project has a stream history file that shows everything we've worked on. So for the brand new Android devs, you can kind of start with stream 1, where we create the project and go over like some setting up the initial GitHub issues and stuff. But if for those of you who might be seasoned Android devs, feel free to read through this stream history list, see what the topics are, and each one links to like the pull request that happened during that stream, resources we looked at, as well as a YouTube video. All of this gets recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So welcome in, check it out. I'll show y'all what we're about to do next. So what branch am I on? Cool. Hi, Plump. I will be so Plump, I'm going to single him out, is one of my gaming buddies who is waiting for me to be off stream because I usually wrap up around now. But I got raided, so I'm going to hang out with the Raiders for a little bit. And maybe we will, I'll probably I'll probably end by like 10, which will still give us plenty of time to game. So stream for another half hour, take the dog out for a quick pee, and then game for a little bit after that. Father Twine. I want you to know that when String and I met in real life, I called him Father Twine. I had to do the formal introduction. So that joke was made in real life. It felt great. Also, I should spend some time updating my B2TV emotes, because I don't think all of those are in my chat. Maybe you guys can see them. I don't have B2TV enabled on this PC, I don't think. And maybe that's why I don't see it. I don't know. Okay. But